Jai Shri Ram. So today it is the turn of the last two cantos of Aranyakand, 74 and 75. 74. Sri Ram and Lakshman visit the hermitage of Shabri on the bank of the Pampa in the forest named Matangavan. Receive her hospitality and go round the forest with her, casting her body into the sacred fire. Shabri ascends to the heavenly world. Taking up the route through the forest to the Pampa lake as shown by Kabanda, the aforesaid two sons of Dashrath proceeded towards the west. Gazing on the numerous trees collected in the form of a cluster on the mountain, rocks and laden with flowers and fruits and dripping honey, the two princes Sri Ram and Lakshman marched on their mission to see Sugriv. Staying on the night of a plateau, those two scions of Raghu, the delights of Raghu's race, for their part approached the western edge of Pampa. Having reached the western brink of the lotus pond, Pampa, the two princes then sighted the lovely hermitage of Shabri on the aforesaid bank of Pampa. Reaching the most delightful hermitage hemmed in with many trees and looking all round, the two princes met Shabri. Rising respectfully with joined palms on seeing the two princes, Shabri, who had attained perfection through yoga or abstraction, for her part presently clasped the feet of Sri Ram and the prudent Lakshman and offered her honoured guests with due ceremony water to bathe their feet and rinse their mouth with and every other form of hospitality. Sri Ram then spoke as follows to the aforesaid ascetic woman who was intent upon virtue. Have all impediments to the practice of your austerities been thoroughly overcome by you? Is your asceticism steadily growing? Has anger been fully controlled by you as well as your diet, O lady, with asceticism alone as your wealth? Are all your religious vows fully observed and has satisfaction come to your mind? Has your attendance on your preceptor borne fruit, O lady of pleasing speech? Stationed before Sri Ram, when inquired as above by the latter, the aforesaid ascetic woman, the aged Shabri, who had not only attained perfection through yoga, but was esteemed by perfect souls, submitted as follows to Sri Ram. Today has the fruition of my austerities been attained by me through your blessed sight. Today my birth as human being has borne fruit and my elders have been duly adorned. My asceticism too has become fruitful today and the highest heaven will to definitely fall to my lot now that you, the foremost of gods, have been worshipped by me, O Ram, the flower of humanity. Hallowed by your gracious look, O gentle one, bestowing honor on others, I shall by your grace ascend to the realms knowing no decay. O subduer of force, when you reach Chitrakoot, the sages whom I served, viz. The pupils of sage Matanga, ascended to heaven from this place in aerial cars of incomparable splendor. Nay, I was reassured in the following words by those eminent and highly blessed seers of Vedic mantras who knew what is right. Sri Ram will visit this highly sacrosanct hermitage of yours. Along with Lakshman, Sri Ram should be hospitably received by you as a guest. Having seen him, you will ascend to the realms of that know no decay. I was reassured by those highly blessed souls in these words on that occasion, O dwell among men, produce of the forest for every description, growing on the brink of Pampa has therefore been gathered by me for you, O tiger among men, the flower of humanity. Spoken to as aforesaid by Shabri, the said Ram, whose mind was set on virtue, lovingly spoke as follows to Shabri, who had been eternally admitted into the portals of divine wisdom. If you deem fit, I wish to perceive with my own eyes the glory of your high-souled preceptors, heard of by me of its true character from the demon Kabanda. Hearing these words issued from the lips of Sri Ram, Shabri for her part showed both the brothers round that vast forest, saying, "Behold the forest, dark as a rainy cloud and thronged with beasts and birds, and widely known by the name of Matanga Van. Only, O joy of the house of Raghu," she said, "here the aforesaid preceptors of mine who had purified the soul by meditation on God sacrificed their body, consecrated by repeating the holy text of Gayatri while uttering the mantra which are recited at the time of pouring oblations into the sacred fire, O Prince endowed with great splendor. This is the altar known by the name of Pratyakshathali, where the aforesaid Rishi, highly adored by me, offered worship with flowers to the deities, with their hands shaking due to exhaustion caused by old age coupled with austerity of life. See how the altar retains its matchless effulgence even to this day, illumining all the quarters by its splendor through the power of their asceticism. O flower of Raghu's race, behold all the 7 oceans encircling the earth drawn in a collective form to this spot by the very thought of those sages where they had grown feeble due to exhaustion occasioned by fasting and were consequently unable to undertake a journey to the 7 oceans. The barks of trees spread by them on the trees in this region after they had finished their ablutions have not dried up till today, O delight of Raghus. The garland which were actually made by them with flowers interspersed with blue water lilies while going through rites undertaken to propitiate the gods have not really faded till now. The whole of this forest has been seen, and what was worth hearing about it has been heard by you. I, therefore, wish that duly permitted by you, I may cast off this body. I long to approach those ascetics of purified mind to whom this hermitage belongs and whose servant I have been. Hearing the most pious submission of Shabri, Sri Ram for his part together with Lakshman experienced incomparable exultation and said, "Wonderful." Sri Ram then replied to the said Shabri of austere vows, "I have been duly honored by you, O blessed lady. Now depart happily at will." Casting herself into the fire when spoken to as aforesaid and granted leave by Sri Ram, Shabri, who wore matted locks on her head and was clad in the bark of trees and black deerskin, before she leapt into the fire, rose to the highest heaven alone, looking as she did like a blazing fire, so the tradition goes. Adorned with celestial jewels and celestial garlands, daubed with heavenly sandal paste and clad in heavenly raiment, she wore a pleasing aspect in that ethereal form, illumining that region like a streak of lightning flashing from a cloud. Through deep concentration of mind, Shabri attained that holy realm where those eminent rishis whose mind was set on virtue enjoyed life. Thus ends Canto 74 in the Aranyakand of the glorious Ramayan of Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Now Canto 75. Sri Ram and Lakshman seek the brink of Pampa lake conversing together. When illumined by her own spiritual lustre, the aforesaid Shabri had ascended to heaven. Sri Ram, for his part, with his younger brother Lakshman, reflected on the spiritual might of the aforesaid rishis. Pondering over that spiritual power of those high-souled rishis, Sri Ram, for his part, whose mind was set on virtue, spoke as follows to Lakshman of undivided mind, who was always rendered good offices to him. The hermitage of the sages who had subdued their mind through contemplation of God, which is full of many wonders and is inhabited by birds of different species, and in which deer and tigers live confidently together, has been seen by me, O gentle brother. A bath has been taken with due ceremony in that sacred water of all the 7 oceans, girding the earth, drawn by them in a miniature form, O Lakshman, and the mains too have been propitiated with offering of water. Whatever evil karma stood to our credit has been nullified, and good fortune in the shape of meeting with Sugriv and the consequent hope of recovering Sita is well within reach. Consequently, this mind too of mine now feels highly rejoiced, O Lakshman. Joy occasioned by some welcome event will flash in my heart, O tiger among men. Therefore, come, let us proceed to the celebrated Pampa lake, which is so pleasing to look at. Not very far from it appears the Ryasmukh hill, on which dwells the highly souled Sugriv, son of the sun god, with 4 other monkeys, seized with constant dread of Vali, and I am in a hurry to see the aforesaid Sugriv, a flower of the monkey race, for my mission of seeking Sita hinges on him. Lakshman replied as follows to the aforesaid hero, Sri Ram, who was speaking as above. Let us repair thither quickly. My mind too is getting impatient to reach there. Thereupon, issuing from that hermitage, that powerful prince, the ruler of men, then arrived on the brink of Pampa with Lakshman surveying the forest, which consisted of big trees enriched with flowers on all sides. That big forest was rendered noisy by lapwings and peacocks, as well as by woodpeckers and parrots, and also by many other birds. Beholding trees of every description as well as lakes of various kinds, the aforesaid Sri Ram, who was tormented with pangs of love for Sita, sought that excellent lake. Having actually reached that lake, which drew its water from afar, Sri Ram bathed in a pool forming part of Pampa, Matangasara by name. The 2 sons of Raghu reached there actually unruffled and composed. The celebrated Sri Ram, son of Dashrath, however, was overwhelmed with grief when he entered the lotus pond, which was covered with lotuses and appeared delightful. It looked charming with the Tilak, Ashok, Punaga, Bakula and Udala trees by which it was surrounded. It had become narrow on account of lovely grove that had encroached upon it. Its crystalline water was fully covered with lotuses, and its bed was spread over with soft sand. It was crowded with alligators and turtles and adorned with trees that stood on its margin. Surrounded with creepers, it looked as if unified with its female companions. Frequented by kinnars, nags, gandharvas, yakshas, and ogres, and hemmed in with trees and creepers of various kinds, it was a beautiful reservoir of cool water. Looking coppery with its rosy lotuses, white with its clusters of white lilies, and blue with its bunches of blue lotuses, it presented the appearance of multicolored carpet. Full of blue lotuses and water lilies, it was adorned with white lotuses and Saugandhika flowers, encompassed with mango groves in blossom, and many made noisy with cries of peacock. Seeing with Lakshman the aforesaid Pampa lake, which was adorned with Tilak and Bijapur, banyan and Shukla trees, as well as with Karavir trees in blossom, and Punag trees in full blossom, nay, with shrubs of Malati and Kunda, as well as with the Bhandira and Nikula trees, the Ashok, Saptaparna, Kataka, and Atimukta trees, and other trees of different species, and looked like decorated young lady. The glorious Sri Ram, son of Dashrath, wailed. On the brink of the lake stood the aforementioned mountain known by the name of Shramukh, which was enriched with minerals of every description and crowned with various trees in blossom. The highly valiant monkey, widely known by the name of Sugriv, and a son of the high-souled Rishraj, for his part, lived on this mountain. Seek you the monkey chief, Sugriv, flower of humanity. Thus spoke Sri Ram of unfailing prowess to Lakshman, adding, "How will it be possible for me to live without Sita, O Lakshman?" Having spoken in these words to Lakshman and giving vent to the foremost grief of his, Sri Ram, who was deeply tormented with love and whose mind was exclusively fixed on her, entered the Pampa, which ravished the soul by its lotuses. Proceeding by stages and gazing on the forest, Sri Ram beheld Pampa surrounded with groves which were lovely to look at and thronged with numerous birds of every description, and entered it with Lakshman. Thus ends Canto 75 in the Aranyakand of the glorious Ramayan of the Valmiki, the work of a rishi and the oldest epic. Thus ends the Khanda, that is Aranyakand. Jai Shri Ram.